I'm coming in today with something different. It's an unboxing, and just like the previous weeks, y'all, I'm looking for different ways to come in and add a bonus video. This is not my normal content, so I'm gonna keep it 100, and you already know what I'm going to talk about in the description box, but I will tell you before we get into the content. Actually, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all once we get on the inside. So why am I bringing this box and this unboxing to my channel? You'll see after the introduction. But if you are interested in seeing what I have, then stick around. If you one of my peeps who love to craft while you are watching, then go ahead, grab your project. Well, hit pause, grab your project, grab your tea or your coffee or whatever it is you're sipping on, and meet me after the introduction. If you are not, then I will hopefully see you soon. Don't forget to thumbs up this video and subscribe to my channel. And I think that's it. Let's go ahead and get into this unboxing. And I'm going to tell you all about why I'm sharing it other than the fact that I need more content. Okay, so with that said, let's go.
Yeah. I've been down so in love like. 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 In love like.
What's the deal, pickers? What's up? My name is Dana. Welcome back to the Freedom Please channel and essenceofme.com. Yes, it's both. It's just how we roll. I'm coming in today with an unboxing, and y'all, this unboxing is different. I know that it's different, but for a few reasons, I want to bring it to you today. One of the reasons is your girl is aiming to put up an extra video a week. We can chat it up and do all those things, but just being consistent. Another reason why I wanted to do this video is because I don't think I've ever heard anybody talk about this, and I'm gonna talk about it. Even though your girl is not a makeup guru, that is not even my lane nor my testimony, but there is a reason why I want to talk about this. So the first thing that I'm going to say as I start busting the seam on this box is that it goes back to during the pandemic. One of the things that we all experienced was that we were spending more time on Zoom calls. If you're someone that works remotely or virtually, or you are like me, I meet with a lot of clients. I spend a lot of time on camera. I'm on this channel, and y'all know I'm not a huge makeup girly, never have been. Or woman. Never have been. It just hasn't been my thing. I think it has a lot to do with how I was raised. My mom wasn't a huge makeup wearer. My daughter is not a huge makeup wearer. My mother always would do it when she was just getting dressed up to go do something. And so that's kind of my MO too. Like if I'm getting dressed up to do something. However, that changed when the pandemic happened, when the bulk of my time every single day was on a Zoom call. And so that really just caused me to sort of sit up and pay attention. And the first thing that I decided to do was, well, in the beginning, I ain't gonna lie, I just said, okay, I'll put the makeup on. I already have the makeup. One of my favorite makeup lines that I love using is Fenty. I find that the skincare, the foundation, and all of that just worked. And during that time, I just began to experiment to make it even better. And better to me wasn't just about coverage. It was really about quickness, not feeling heavy. I have oily skin. So little things like that I really just had to understand better so that I could be on camera and in my eyes do it quick. So even like what I have on today, this would not be something that somebody would be doing on a YouTube channel or a makeup channel, but this is just fine to get on a camera and have a conversation, run a coaching call. There are times when I do like this look and I'll do more coverage or whatever under my eyes. But y'all, this is coverage with no foundation. I don't have anything heavy on my face. I found a couple of products that just do really, really well with a bang for the buck, which are making sure that my eyebrows are done. I don't have anyone else do them. I do them myself, and the right products to make it quick. Also finding that whenever I do this very basic everyday look, having a really great blush and a great bronzer. Those two, along with my eyebrows, and then going over it real lightly with just a little bit of powder, makes it so that I'm just fine. And this look, even looking like this, is after 4 hours of video calls today. Okay. And after this, y'all, I'm probably going to take it off on this video. Okay. And it'll be, that's a wrap. Okay. And so just finding out what those combinations are, even though, I can use some coverage under my eyes, like concealer. Whenever I wear my dark frames, I find that I could, but it's okay if I don't. Finding that if I put the blush and the bronzer on, and my eyebrows are done, I usually would have a gloss on, and I'm gonna do it right now just so you can see that it does make a difference. Again, this is like literally on. Putting on a gloss. I don't worry about doing a lipstick. This would be it. And y'all, done. And I do this in like 5 to 7 minutes tops. And if I want to do some concealer underneath my eyes or whatever, I can do this whole look in under 10 minutes. And I've done it in 5 and still look the same. So I do it in 5 whenever I can. So why I wanted to do this, on top of doing this unboxing, this is an unboxing for an order that I just did for Sephora. It's my staples. There's a couple of products in here that I got that are new to me that I want to address, a couple of areas that I'm going to share with you. But I will say the second part of this, on top of the changes in circumstances, the fact that more time was spent on camera, I sort of made some decisions that helped me to make these adjustments. One of those being, I really took skincare seriously. I find that taking skincare seriously means that I can do this kind of a look and it still looks good. Again, I'm not coming for beat. I'm not coming looking for, I'm 20 some odd years old. Okay. Your girl is closer to 50 than I am 40. So therefore I just want to look presentable. I want to look nice. I want people to feel welcomed. I don't want to look overly tired, even though sometimes I just am. And I want people to focus on the main thing, which to me is my eyes and my smile and my presence, because it's really important when you're coaching people for them to feel comfortable, to feel like they connect to you, so that they really aren't worried about those things, and we can get to the thing that really matters, which is them writing their books and building their brands for me. Okay. So with that said, I focused on skincare. Now, right now, if you see again, I do not have on any foundation, like a liquid foundation. I do a little bit of a powder after I put everything on, just around my T-zone, because as you see now, I'm already starting to get oily. If I were to do this and add a primer, it would be even better, but I didn't, because when I finish this recording, I'm taking this off, okay? But this is a great look that you can do every morning that literally takes like 5 minutes. If you guys ever want to see me do it, y'all already know I'm not a makeup person. If you want to see me do it, let me know. But it works. I feel like it's grown woman swag. If you're not grown woman trying to look, you know what I'm saying? Y'all. And I'm fortunate I got a husband that don't care about all that kind of stuff, and I don't really care about it. So we on one accord. So with that said, I focused on skincare first. I found that in the beginning, because I do have oily skin, I have very I wouldn't say emotional skin. I have skin that is temperamental. I have skin that sometimes she can be disrespectful. So I do have skin that has always been very sensitive. There are certain products that I can use and it can cause me to break out or have redness. And I've always had very sensitive skin. Even when I was younger, like I couldn't use certain soaps and things like that. As I've grown older, I think after having my kids and hormone changing, it's not as sensitive as it was when I was younger, but it has always made me cautious about what I put on my face. So with that said, when I decided to work on skincare, the skincare that I started off with was, I'm not gonna lie, it was Mary Kay. That was one of the ones that I always found that was reliable and faithful. When I was younger, I felt like, oh my God, that's too many steps. I don't want to do it. So then I didn't do it. Then for a season, and I still do within Balance, I sort of just went back to the basics, the simple, clean basics. And for me, that was always Clear and Clean. Again, I feel like that's old school, but baby, I love that combo of Clear and Clean day and Clear and Clean night. With the pumps, I put one on at the sink and one in the shower, and I still use it. But I would consider my main bulk of my skincare to be the Fenty skincare line. Now, I think I may be making an adjustment in the near future. I don't know. I always say that and I go back to it. I find that it works well. I just hate that they took away the fragrance. I liked the fragrance. And that's neither here nor there, but I use their cleanser. I use their toner. Love their toner. I use their moisturizer that has a light SPF in it. I really love the combination. I found that here recently, I like it even more. That combination is also, to me, a really great combination if you don't like wearing any makeup. I can do just the skincare and my brows and be good on just a regular day. Okay. And so again, let me know if you have any questions about it. Listen, you gotta know that I'm biased and I have a limited scope of, what did I say? A limited scope of experience with certain things, but I could tell you what I've liked and I've disliked. So after the skincare, that kind of led to me naturally using the makeup with Fenty. Actually, I think I started with the makeup because I was having to wear makeup and I found that I really like their foundation. Their foundation, even if you do a liquid foundation, gives great coverage and it feels light, and it was one of the better ones of the ones that I used before. But once I decided to focus on skincare, I realized that I really didn't even have to use the foundation much, but it took a little while and just being patient. And so in that old school sort of dip back, I would do the Clear and Clean. And whenever I needed to do toner, I would use witch hazel, and when I needed to, and maybe even like a micellar, like rose water, but I found my skin really doesn't like that much, and it reminded me back to my sensitive days where things that had heavy floral totes would kind of bother my skin. And then I would moisturize with a very basic, unscented, almost medical grade sort of moisturizer. Sudafil, I think it's what it's called. And it's just, honestly, just like a tub in it. At the time, I thought it was expensive, and I found that my skin loves it. It keeps it hydrated. Like, it just feels good. I don't do a lot of like exfoliators and all that stuff. I do when I feel like I need it, if I feel like there's texture or something like that. But I found that I really don't have to do that as long as I do the other things. And I'm big on doing the skincare multiple times a day. Really just trying to keep my face in the best condition possible. And because of that, then I was able to play with lighter products on my face. As far as my makeup, that's where the makeup came in. I think for me, the makeup is just a little extra, you know. And actually, I'm gonna turn off this extra light now that we've started. A little extra oomph, not a whole bunch, but just enough to be able to do what I need to do and be presentable. And so that's when I started playing with some of that, playing with things like blush, contour, and for me, well, I would say blush, bronzer, contour, and playing with different combinations, playing with how I did my brows, playing with the products, because I found that y'all know your girls don't have no brows. However, when I'm really wanting to be put together or bring my look together and not have a heavy makeup look, having brows on makes a huge difference. And the color in which I use on my brows makes a huge difference. Even to the point of like what glasses I'm wearing and how to pair those combinations are all the things that I have really worked out pretty well because of having to be on camera a lot. So with that said, I worked with the lighter things. So for example, playing with different colors on my skin tone. Like now I have on my favorite blush that has turned out to be the only blush I really use. I have a couple of backups. I love the NARS. I know I'm going to get this wrong. I think it's NARS Better Than Sex blush, something like that. That blush is the daggone truth. And when I bought it, I was like, this stuff is stinking expensive. But the reason why I end up buying it is because I tried a sample, even though I thought the sample was expensive, and it just makes a difference. And that's when I really started paying attention to if I were going to use minimal products, making sure that the products that I use were high quality. That also helps a lot with me not having any sort of breakouts or problems. And when I do have breakouts, because I tend to have them because that's just how the female body is, no longer having a bunch of black or hyperpigmentation essentially from, or dark marks from those breakouts, which all comes from just having a consistent, reliable skincare routine. So I went with light products. My blush, I would consider, I think it's an expensive blush. Listen, back in the day, I remember you could just go into Walgreens, and you could go to Target or something and get you a blush for about $7, and damn, it'd be like $30. What? Listen, I sound like somebody's mama, but I am. $30, you know, whatever. But even with me using it every day, the products last a really long time, and it gives me a great bang for the buck, and it has a lot of pigment, so I don't have to use a lot because I'm not coming out here to be like blushed up with 5 layers of blush. I just want you to see the dimensions of my face, right? Another thing that I tried is I do not put on contour well. I do have more like my face isn't long, but you know, when you put on extra pounds, you just got to look at making sure it looks like you actually have a jaw and that I have high cheekbones, I think in general, not super high, like they've been something put in them, but enough to just feel like my face structure is there and not just flat, again, because I am on camera. And so I found that instead of doing contour, because I'm not very good at it, I use a bronzer instead. And so the bronzer that I use is, I always get the name wrong. It's a maquillage. Let me tell you something. The bronzer is stupid expensive. I'm not even gonna lie. I think it is too expensive. For the record. But ask me how many times I bought it. Let me tell you why. Bronzer is fire. That bronzer is everything. You will look like, listen, like he made you, okay? It just gives you just the right amount of coloring, just a little bit of highlighting, where your skin just looks nice and healthy. And I just love it. I think the packaging could be a little bit better because I'm on my second or third pan of it, if you will. And they give you a lot of products, so it lasts a long time. And so those and my brows, I was trying everything. I used to love to get things from the beauty supply store because I found that I really don't like pencils where you have to sharpen them, because I always just break the pencil. Maybe I'm too rough. I don't know. I found that what I really like was retractable, and the beauty supply store used to have really great retractable ones until they started getting to a point where they just didn't have enough slip, and it just felt like I was having to buy a lot to find ones that work. And so I started going through some different brands, and I went through several brands before I landed on the one that I really like. Y'all, for the record, Sephora be having some bomb products in a good way. Products that are their in-house products. That's what I would consider them, like their own label brand products. Really, really great eyeliners, really great brow pencils, and I have found that they are much better even than the more expensive ones, which are 2 to 3 times the price of theirs. But you know, as I used to say on Living Color, I ain't trying to talk about it, you ain't heard it from me. So so that's what I do. Those are the items that I use. I use a blush, a bronzer, a brow pencil, and today an eyeliner. I really love lashes, but I had to leave lashes alone because lashes didn't love me, even though I love a good lash. Ooh, I love a good lash. And I haven't learned how to put them on with the glue. One day I'm going to learn. I'm going to grow up and but I do have, whenever I do events or speaking events and I put on a full face of makeup, because I do still have, to put a full face of makeup on when you got to, show up and show out. When I do that, I do have magnetic lashes that I use that do just fine. But this is the norm. This is often, okay? So with that said, this was my regular box of items that I get to re-up. A couple of items are new to me that I'm hoping will do well. I will say the final thing before I open this box. 2 things. One, don't be afraid of buying something that's a more expensive item so that you get a high quality item where you can use less of it and it will last you longer. Number 2, don't be afraid of a good brush. Let me tell you, a lot of times products that you don't necessarily like would be so much better if you had a higher quality brush. I used to sleep on brushes. I would just use whatever brush I had. Changing your brushes will change your life. Okay? And you could quote me on that. Having a really great brush, making sure that you have the appropriate density. The brush that I use to do my bronzer is not the same brush that I use for my blush. It just makes a difference in having a good quality brush. It will keep you from going through your product like it's going out of style, especially if you are buying more expensive or higher quality products. And I would say as a number 3 to this is all things are not created equal, and just because you pay more for it doesn't mean that it's better. So what I had to do when I was really trying to figure this out for myself is start going to places like Sephora and Ulta, because you could get a sample. And those samples, sometimes I felt like $20 for a sample. I mean, times have changed, but I found that doing that was still better because I could try different products. So what I would do was for things like Mother's Day, birthdays, I would ask for gift cards, or I would go and just get some things certain times of the year to treat myself and not be concerned with the fact that you're going to come out with a little bitty bag and you're going to pay $100 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you pay way more, but that's what I'm saying. So I found that having a great brush makes a huge difference. And especially for like foundations and things like that, I just take your girl's word for it, okay? A good brush is almost better sometimes than having the right product. You can remix a product. If your brush is whack, baby, you will be looking like a splotchy mess, okay? So here we go. With that said, here are the items that I have. I'll tell you the items that are repeats, and I'll tell you the items that are new. So just like I told you before, the Sephora line of brow pencils and eyeliner, the best ever. Ever. This eyeliner, y'all got it on right now. This eyeliner is the truth. It is retractable. I like to get the matte black. I'm not going to open it because I still have a little bit left in the one that I have. It lasts, a little bit goes a long way. It is pigmented to the point where when I do this look like this, I know most people don't like black underneath, but I do because I have very slanty eyes. Especially when I'm tired, it'll look like my eyes are closed. So I do like put an eyeliner on both, even though it's not normally recommended. But, you know, I'm grown, so, okay. So I love this eyeliner. I've tried everything, and I'm talking about over years and years and years and years and years. Maybelline, L'Oreal, Fenty. I tried I can't say this one's name, Kosas or whatever. I've tried everything. Nothing has been like this one. I hope they never change the formula. Please don't ever change the formula. And you don't need a bunch of sticks of it. It lasts forever. And so, yes, this one in matte black, it is their 12-hour retractable eyeliner. And again, this is the Sephora brand. Love it. My brow. Listen, if I don't do nothing, I put on some brows. If I don't do nothing, I put on some brows. Putting brows on your face coming from the person that don't got regular eyebrows makes a huge difference in how you show up in the world. Okay. Y'all, it's been a long week, so I'm a little bit silly. So this is the Sephora brand of the their liner, their brow pencil. I'm trying to see if there's a different name. Yeah, no, I got these over 40 eyes and I turned off the light. Let's see here. The color is granite. Do they have something else on here other than? No, they don't have another name. It's just the Sephora retractable brow pencil. It does say waterproof. I don't know if I can vouch for that, but what I can tell you is this has it has both the pencil. It's retractable. I think I said it has the pencil and it has the brush. What I absolutely love is that the pencil is fine. It's fine where you can do strokes, but it still is creamy enough and has enough pigment that you can fill in without it looking like a Cookie Monster. Okay, what was that, Oscar the Grouch? Without looking like Oscar the Grouch. That's what I'm talking about from Sesame Street. If you know, you know. And I find, and again, this what I think the prices are more than what I used to pay. I mean, I used to pay a couple of bucks. This is way more than a couple of bucks, but it is worth it. And they last a while. And this is coming from someone who puts it on pretty much daily. Like it lasts. It's worth it. And this is like a dark brown. I used to really like black. I still do like black, but this one is really great for everyday use. And so this is a repeat. Another item that is a repeat is this. A Kosas Air Brow Clear Lifting Treatment Gel with lamination effect. Y'all listen. This is coming from a person that eyebrows. I don't have them. I have a little bit. They're very sparse and it's just like that. But this I received 1 year in my birthday, like freebies at Sephora. And when I tell you, you put this on your brows, listen, it don't have you looking crazy. Your brows stay in place, and paired with this, they ain't going nowhere. And when you get ready to take them off, you might have to go old school and put some Vaseline on there to get it off. Okay? Now, they have this clear. They have it tinted. I have used both. I prefer the clear. I'm using the tinted right now. to use up what I have. I even tried their brow pencils. They were recommended when I went to Sephora. I thought they were okay. I don't think that they were better than the Sephora brand, but this gel, love it, love it. Another repeat item that I purchased is this. It's called On Till Dawn. And I think it's called One Something. What does it say on top, y'all? One Size. That's what it is. One Size. And it says waterproof. Again, I can't vouch for that. This is a mattifying waterproof setting spray. Love this. I do use it normally. I don't use a lot. If you ever see, like, I don't use a lot of product. I just don't. I like for my face to just feel like I can breathe, for so many different reasons. But the point is, this spray is amazing. I love this setting spray. Only thing I probably don't like is I don't know if I like that it's in an aerosol, but it does go on evenly. It doesn't cause any blotchiness. You don't have to use a whole lot. Again, I feel like I'm like this, and this is with no primer, nothing, and being under lights all day essentially. And yeah, this is just a bomb. Bomb, bomb, bomb. Now, the new additions to what I purchased, and these are like my staples that I find I replace a couple times a year. These usually will last me at least, I'm not going to say the amount of time because people are talking about how long you should have makeup or whatever. They last a long time. Like, it's worth it to me. So because I really fell in love with the Sephora products, with these two items, I also fell in love with the Sephora products with their concealer brush for under your eye. Listen, that brush, I wouldn't steer you wrong. I would not steer you wrong. I ain't trying to mess with your coins like that, okay? It just does. And I don't have it under here right now, but baby, it handles the liquid. It handles the powder. It gets underneath there. Again, as someone who has a very small eyes, I just got to be mindful of certain things. I don't like sponges. I found that I just like brushes. I just like brushes. So with that said, I like to use more than one setting spray whenever I'm doing, if I do decide to put on foundation, even if it's a light foundation like a skin tint or something like that. I find that adding in a second setting spray in the middle of my application makes the look stay on longer, and it does make it look as though you just have good, clear, healthy skin. Okay. And so what I wanted to do is find one to be that second the second spray. I have been using this twice, but I find that I like something that has a little bit more liquid to it instead of it being an aerosol. Like, I used to love to use the e.l.f. And I do still use it sometimes. The one that's black, I usually do like going for a mattifying. And so the point is, I decided to look for a sample under the Sephora brand to see if I could find a setting spray to pair with this one size that I could like as that second setting spray. I will say, as a little bit of a I'm a hit pause for a second. I find that when you want to go for a lighter look, that having a great foundation, which is your skincare, is important. And I also feel like if you add a primer and you add a good setting spray, it'll be even better. I did not add a primer. I don't normally add a primer. I'm usually okay with this, but though adding the sort of the foundation and the setting, and then this on top, you could even do, instead of a primer, the Vaseline like balm stick. You can put that down to sort of help before you put everything on, just so that everything sort of stays in place a little bit. And so with that said, back to our regular scheduled program, I got this Sephora makeup setting spray. It's a 12-hour wear, transfer proof, dewy finish. Now, I don't like that this is a dewy finish, but I was looking for something that was a pump and not an aerosol. I already have this mattifying, and usually I put this on and I may put just a little bit of powder to make sure I take away any last bit of shine, and then I will put this. So I got this in the sample size to see if that will help as that second setting spray. I'm looking forward to it. The other thing that I got that was new is I got a new brush, which is a new concealer brush. Dana, after you just raved about that other concealer brush, why are you getting another concealer brush? I'm so glad you asked. As I rip off oh no. Y'all, whenever I drop something, I have got to find it. Because if I don't find it, my dog will find it. And I will look up and wonder why he's smacking and he done found something on the floor. Okay, so why am I looking for another concealer brush when I already have one? Because I liked the other brush so much, I wanted to find a concealer brush to be able to use it specifically for under my eyes, and to be able to use almost like a setting brush. And so I got this one, which is the O2 concealer brush by Sephora. I loved the look of this domed head. Look at that. And it is like, it's dense, but at the same time soft, to be able to put my setting underneath here. And you're going to see why. One of the things that I'm doing now is wanting to try products to address, I don't even need to put this back, to address the darkness under my eyes just a little bit. I do have like the little inset a little bit, and whenever I want to wear like my big pink glasses like you see in my thumbnail, I use those glasses a lot when I'm doing speaking engagements, and when I'm doing recordings, because the frames are big enough so that you really can see into my eyes, but I do like to have more coverage underneath my eyes so that it's just a nice clear sight line into my eyes. And so with that said, I got this. I already have a really great setting powder and all that. And so I'm hoping that this combination works really well, along with the other product that I got that I'm trying out for the first time. And it is the Huda Beauty Fox Filter Color Corrector. And I got it in Papaya. And I have used correctors before. The corrector that I currently use is from Fenty. I also used to use the corrector by LA Color. I can't remember if that's what it was called, but whatever that was called, I used to use that one. I honestly feel like that was one of the best ones that I've ever used. I just don't go to the beauty supply store enough to find it, if they even have it anymore. And so the one that I have from Fenty, I think it's okay. I've used their stick. I've used the squeeze like liquid. And I always find that it's almost what I need, but not quite. So I've been on the hunt for a corrector. And that's, I'm sorry. So I use the Fenty's stick, the liquid correctors, and I'll usually use that along with any concealer when I wear my big glasses. I wanted to find another one. I'm hoping that this has enough coverage without putting too much on, that it doesn't take my like 5 to 7 minute look to being any more than that. or very little, less than 10 minutes. So that even when I wear these glasses, that I just put a couple of dabs underneath there, let it dry down a little bit, spread it out just so that it'll sort of cancel out some of the darkness. And then you can really see right in. I know that sometimes like having the black eyeliner may not help when I'm combating that, but it's something I'm willing to take because I like the eyeliner. So with that said, I'm going to try this. And so I got the papaya. And this is like, y'all, I'm so excited to try this. I'm not going to put it on right now because as soon as I get off of here, y'all, I'm going to be taking this makeup off. So I'm trying this, hoping. And if this works out well, I've never used the Huda products before. If that goes well, I think I might even try their concealer. I find that I like the Fenty concealer. I think one of the things that I'm starting to play with and toy with is the fact that if I get a product that's has a little bit more coverage, it will maybe pair well with the fact that I only like to use a little bit. I only like to use a little bit. And I think it will be the concealer and everything that I use when I do my full face. All of that's fire locked in. So having this color corrector to sort of just even underneath my eyes out with everything else, I think is just the last little bit of dollop on top. So with that said, y'all, this is not your normal video. I know that. I did not intend for it to go this long. But let me know if you have any questions. Like I said, I have mature skin. I do not use a whole lot of makeup. I do think that, like if I was going in to do an event or something like that, I do have products that will give me the full look without looking like a makeup face. And listen, I'm saying that to say that however you wear your makeup is your thing. I really just like to be presentable and look put together, and that it does not distract you from my eyes and what I'm saying. And so that's important. And I did not add, and I did say a little bit of gloss, and so I might as well say that, and I will end with that. When I say gloss, it's actually not a gloss, but a lip oil. I love the Fenty lip oil. There's a couple of others that I'm testing right now to see if I like it as much, but I do. I use the Fenty oil. I have one at my desk. I have one in my bathroom. I put it on when I do my skincare routine in the morning. I put on like a lip mask when I do my skincare at night. Another one that I am trying right now, this is a gloss from, this is, I don't want to say this one because they are not in business anymore, but I've been using this one, which is by Color Rain. It's pretty good. And then the other one, it's, listen, I don't think I done used it all. This is the Fenty gloss, not a lip oil. I use this sometimes and it's really just a backup. The other one that I really like, I think it's All Gone, that I've been testing, is by this same company. They have one that is like a light gloss, and I'm always looking for ones that I can wear that's not sticky, that does not pull or gather in my lips, and does not look funny against the lighting, but that is also comfortable for daily wear. And I find that the lip oil covers all of that. And then I have different glosses and lipsticks or whatever if I want to put a little extra on, but nowadays it's not often. Okay. So with that said, let me know if you have any questions by meeting me in the comment section. I would really love to know, like, are you someone who just loves to play and dabble in makeup? What are some of your favorite products? I also would love if you have some to recommend, particularly around the color correction. Also, I've been wanting to maybe play with another blush, and I kind of feel like I need to go with NARS for that. I do have a backup brand that I like, which is the I see her face. I think it's the Selena Gomez line, the liquid blush, which is really nice. I just find that it usually applies too much, and I like a powder blush instead of a cream or a liquid blush. And I like a blush that has a multi-dimension, and I think that's why the Better Than Sex really works. It has like hints of orange and pink, and a little bit of shimmer, but not too much. And I find that combination is really what I like. I think I like it. But anyway, so blush, and I think that is it. Thank you for rolling with me. If you are still here, go ahead and hit the comments and let's chat it up. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to thumbs up this video and subscribe to my channel. No, this is not our regular content, but y'all, this is grown folks, grown women all day long. And you know, especially as we're going out doing our thing, we want to feel and look our absolute best. And so this is a part of it, or at least a part that I enjoy whenever I need to, because y'all, quiet as it's kept, most days I don't even touch it unless I have to get on camera. So with that said, your girl is out. Take care. Have a fantastic day. And I will see you all hopefully sooner than later. Goodbye.
I've been down so it look like. I've been down so it look like. I've been down so it look like. I've been down so.